Some of the key recommendations include amendments to relevant business acts to be aligned with business rescue legislation and procedures. These are the Companies Act, the Closed Corporation Act, the Public Enterprises Governance Act, and the Insolvency Act. The Business Rescue Task Force is advocating for the speedy finalization of the identified laws.
And I think on this specific topic, we're actually very pleased to report that we were able to get beyond even a layman's draft of what that chapter should look like. And with support also from my vice chair at BIPA, we've got a full formal chapter along with the new Business Act that's on its way. But we would recommend that that chapter be replaced in the relevant Companies Act and the other Business Entity Act as soon as possible, and then revoke the current judicial management chapter that's in there. The business rescue process is a better process than what that is currently in there.
The task force further recommends that financial institutions suspend penalties and interests to businesses to enable them to stay afloat. These and a number of other immediate business rescue initiatives are contained in its final report.
I think the key item that's at the top of the priority that's not been addressed talks to the existing COVID relief programs that was announced by the Minister of Finance in April 2020 already, but there has been a very slow take-up. We've done a detailed analysis around that, and also the key stakeholders, Bank of Namibia, the commercial banks, have discussed changes to make it better for businesses to take that up, and that is receiving priority attention at those platforms as well, and they will relaunch that imminently. There's also other institutions, we've written to some, we've engaged with some, but hoping that they will take up some of the proposals made around relief in cash flow to businesses. And I think we can't overemphasize the need to reduce red tape in a number of aspects. It is actually phenomenal how many small pockets of administration, levies, cash flow drain sits in the system all over.
Government would study the final recommendations for implementation.
Implementation is the challenges. That's where we're coming now. Over to us now. The legislation is required. You mentioned that too. Capacity and ethics. Local skills development plan. We have key stakeholders. Work visa. I think we have also started already. Then you have unethical behavior. It's on our side now. It's over to us and people. Well, as I said, it's an easy report to read and understand.
And we will definitely work together, not in isolation, but with the rest of the team, as identified on the report, team key sector players. That is the Ministry of Finance, NIPDB, the various sectoral ministries, and of course our institutions such as BIPA, such as the Competition Commission. These are our agencies that will champion especially the review and the amendment of some of these legal instruments.
NAMRA has already begun to accept and or deploy some of the recommendations, really sort of accepting the nature of the urgency of how quickly we needed to move, because when you read this particular activity under the Economic Advancement Pillar, it speaks about economic distress, Your Excellency.
The 11-member Business Rescue Task Force was appointed by President Geingob last year to review current business and insolvency laws in consultation with representatives of the public and the private sector.